Hi, I'm Dr. D, and I want to thank you so much for your openness to consider being a part of a project that I'm doing. It's called Dear Freedom Riders, and it's a commissioned piece. I've been commissioned by UCLA to write a piece for a concert that will take place in February of 2023. The concert's main feature is Dave Brubeck's Gates of Justice. And that piece was written after Dr. King's assassination to help address some friction that was going on between the African American and Jewish communities. And just to focus on oneness and unity. So the first half of the concert will be other pieces, smaller pieces, Dave Brubeck's pieces, over an hour long. But there'll be several pieces in the first half, and mine is one of two commissioned pieces, and then there'll be some other pieces. And this piece, I decided to choose something that would be in the similar era of Brubeck's piece, so in the 60s. And you probably are aware of the Freedom Riders, but the first group of Freedom Riders was actually in the 40s, but the ones that people know the most of in terms of American history is the group that began writing in 61. And that short period of time in 1961 really helped to change so much in America in terms of civil rights. It was like a booster shot, or like a um, just a huge advancement for civil rights, because you had people, a small group of people, 12 to begin with, 13, sorry, to begin with, who decided to take buses to the Deep South to test a federal law that was already in place, which prohibited segregation in waiting rooms. So previously, a law had been changed to prohibit segregation on these interstate buses. But what was happening is people would get to these particular towns or try to leave, and they had no place to sit and wait. People, as in people of African descent. So, anyway, this piece is going to be called Dear Freedom Riders, because I'm going to ask the 13 people, the 13 students who will be the 13 singers that will make up the vocal ensemble that the piece is written for, SATB, with piano and possibly another instrument. I'm asking each person to write a letter to the Freedom Riders. Excuse me, my computer is moving. Okay, I'm gonna try to put it someplace more stable. So you're gonna write a letter that will be based on your thoughts, your heart, your words that you would speak in a letter to these 13 persons. And if you could talk to them now. So it could be anything from, and this is not to influence you, but just to give you a taste of what I'm looking for, anything from how did you do it? How did you endure the hard treatment, the beatings, the jailings, just so much that they had to deal with. And many of them were your age, were college age, some were older, but literally taking their lives into their hands, knowing that they might die as a result of making this choice to be able to have freedom. So this letter could be anywhere from a paragraph to something longer if you're so led. It could be really anything. But let me give you a little bit more. So you'll have a video, two videos that I'm asking you to watch, two and a half, that will give you, unless you are somebody who's intensely studied the Freedom Riders, I ask that you write it, because I want it to be more than just coming together to sing a piece. It's really something that I hope will be transformational. And what will happen is these 13 letters that the singers who premiere this piece will write, I am taking these letters and going to extract words or phrases, or I'll just see how it turns out. But I'm going to extract from these letters and make up the libretto for the piece based on these letters. So The caveat is I really need that done kind of sooner than later because we literally are close to the time. The premiere is the end of February. The There are two concerts, and both of them are in LA. One is at UCLA, and the other one is at a church in LA. The UCLA concert is the 26th of February, and the so you'd have to pretty much block out from the afternoon to the evening on February the 26th. And then the 28th of February, pretty much the same from the afternoon to the evening. That one is in town. The one in at UCLA is at Royce Hall. The other one is at Holman United Methodist Church, and that's in Mid City, Los Angeles. So I often get the question, when will the rehearsals be? I don't know yet. I'm going to base it on the availability of once I settle on these 13 singers. And um, what other questions do I get? Oh, I don't get this question, but I need to tell you. So be aware that this is not at all something for compensation, unfortunately. I'm asking students to do this. I also want it to be unique all the way around. So I want the proceeds from this piece, meaning the sales from it once it's premiered and all that, to be given, to be donated to an organization called the Innocence Project. The Innocence Project helps to secure freedom for wrongly convicted persons who are incarcerated. Uh, I could go on about that, but that is one of many passions of mine. So I just thought, if you guys volunteer this, and even though, just full disclosure, I do have a fee for being commissioned, but when it comes to actually selling, I have a publishing company, so I publish some of my own pieces. So when it comes to that, I want to be able to promote the piece, and hopefully we can even get a recording out of it, but I want those proceeds to go to help someone else, because that's so much of what the freedom riders did. They didn't do it just for themselves, but they made those great sacrifices for people like you and for people like me to have some of the freedoms that we have today. I hope that gives you a good sense of it. Oh, duh, something very important. So the piece is going to be a 12-tone piece. It's going to be classical in terms of category, non-tonal. It will be, if you don't know what a 12-tone piece is, don't worry about it. But that is to say, you need a really good ear. I'm not going to have 13-part harmony, but it won't be ABC 1 2 3 super easy, and it certainly won't be the hardest piece in that vein. So I will also say I'm looking at 7 rehearsals. I think at the max that's what we'll do. Depends on how strong of a group I assemble. I'm almost there. Would love for you to be a part. And if I haven't already gotten a sample from you, I'd love to get a sample of your voice. I need people who are good at choral singing, meaning know how to blend, and not just good vocalists. And definitely, hands down, our readers can read really well. And I think that's all. Yes. All right. So ask me any questions. And if you can't be a part of it, I completely understand. But I do need an all-in kind of a commitment, because I want us to go deep. I want, hopefully in a rehearsal or two, we can talk about the letters. There's a big PR firm that has been hired to cover this concert. So there'll be good coverage. So I think that's everything. Thank you for listening. Have a good one. Bye.